team. And again, we're gonna face that in Iowa State. I think the thing that makes them difficult is a lot like Illinois. They have multiple guys that can push it.
Our record is falling out the door, and everybody's record is falling out the door. And we gotta come ready to fight every night. Because any given night, you could be beat by 30 or 20. It doesn't matter.
The building process with these guys is really understanding the psychology of the game and really how hard they have to play defensively to be in these games.
Well, let's look back now at some of the recent non-conference action, some big games and big victories for the Tigers. Then we'll look ahead to the Big 12 later in the season. Here's Missouri and Indiana in December, and the Tigers with Kalen Grimes inside a one-point game early as you welcome the Hoosiers from the Big 10 to Columbia.
We see a couple of our young guys, Kalen and then Marshall, hitting some big shots. Kalen really athletic around the goal. We weren't playing well in the first half. We couldn't get shots to go. Guys really dug in defensively again, Chris, and kind of got some stuff going with our press right now. You see us get up and get into them.
Yeah, at halftime, you're down 15 and only had 16 of your own points on the board, 31-16. But, Quinn, this is really the portion of play that really, I don't want to say turn the whole season around because it's still early, but really sparked this recent run by your team.
Well, no question, and I think we got the ball inside. Linus was really establishing himself. We were getting to the foul line, able to set our press. And, Jason Conley, you're seeing right here, made a few really big buckets. And he's made some big plays for us, whether it be offensive rebounds or hitting some shots, really rebounding the ball well right now.
Boy, he's really been aggressive on the boards, and as you mentioned, made some shots. Marshall Brown with a three-pointer, and then a play at the end of the game that a lot of fans enjoyed. I'm not sure about the head coach.
We got a good highlight. We learned from it, though. I think we learned from it, and that's when Marshall was excited, and we'd like to see him do that during the game instead of when the clock's running down.
But everybody was excited because that was a huge win for Mizzou over Indiana, and what a big comeback again from 15 points down at halftime. And I don't know that you said anything.
Illinois trying to make it 11-0 to start. It would match their best start since 89-90. Linus Kleza here from Missouri, and they're down 13. But they would stay close. Darren Williams. Illinois by 10. Luther Head gets it back. Illinois holds on to win 70-64. They'd won their first 10 games by an average of 21.7. This one only a 6-point victory, but good enough to get them to that 11-0.
To St. Louis to meet the nation's #1 team, the Fighting Illini of Illinois, still #1 and unbeaten. But what a game this was for Quinn's Tigers against the Illini at the Savas Center in St. Louis. Quinn and Linus Kleza, outstanding in the early stages, really getting to the basket.
Well, he was getting to the hole, and and then when you attack inside first, then it frees up some of that outside stuff. And Illinois is a terrific team, and they made Marshall. Marshall was like really the only guy in the first half that was able to finish at the rim. We had a lot of opportunities inside and kind of let them get away, and that was one of the reasons we found ourselves down where we were at half.
Boy, down 13 at this point, but you hang in there. So many teams were just blitzed by the Illini and really out of the game by halftime. But you guys hung in there.
Well, we did, and we hung in there by going to the hole, and Linus again carried us, and I thought we made some mistakes. We gave him some easy baskets, and that got us down, the way we were at half.
Second half, Luther Head, of course, one of the trio of veteran guards with Darren Williams and D. Brown did his thing, but Kleza pumped in 25.
You see his tempo right there, his footwork, and he's just really relaxed. And then Jason Horton hit some big shots. His shot selection is really good. I love seeing Kevin that emotional on the bench.
He brings that for your team, doesn't he? And it works so hard on the glass. And a lot of emotion on the Tiger bench. Mizzou within 4 with 7 minutes to go. Illinois tried to stretch it out, but the Tigers hang right in there into the final minutes.
Right there, and when it comes down to that, Chris, you need some guys to make some plays. And Thomas made a shot there. We had a lot of looks and just couldn't quite get it to go down. And Illinois guys made some plays. Here's one that Jason, I was talking about, really a good read on his part, but when it got
Center website, and those of both the University of Illinois and the University of Missouri gave the fans a chance to vote on each school's top 10 bragging rights players. Let's take a look first at the 5 Tigers, number 10 through number 6, in the fans' poll of bragging rights best players in the first quarter century. Number 10, Javon Crudup from Kansas City, was an all-Big 8 selection. He won 3 of his 4 bragging rights games from 1990 to 93, scoring a total of 56 points with 22 rebounds.
Javon out of Kansas City, Raytown, a great player. An older kid. I mean, he was just old beyond his years when he came here. And he gained Norm's respect because of his maturity at such a young age. He was a tremendous talent, big kid, big, strong kid.
Number 9, Ricky Frazier from Charleston, Missouri, was a 2-time All-Big 8 selection who played in the first 2 bragging rights games in 1980 and 81, leading the Tigers in scoring both years, including a game-high 28 in Mizzou's 1981 overtime victory.
He was one of the best players at one-on-one. Within 15 foot from the hoop, he could outplay anybody.
Number 8 on the list is Arthur Johnson. The rugged player from Detroit is Missouri's all-time rebounding leader with 1,083. In his 4 bragging rights games from 2000 to 2003, he led the Tigers twice in rebounds. Number 7, Ricky Paulding. Another Tiger from Detroit is on the school's top 10 scoring list with 1,673 career points. In his bragging rights career from 2000 to 2003, he totaled 57 points, averaging over 14 a game. Number 6, Kelly Thames from St. Louis, 7th on the all-time Tiger scoring list with 1,689 points. He scored in double figures in all 4 of his games against Illinois, including a game-high 25 points in 1995. Here's the fans' choice for the Illini's best players, number 10 through number 6 in the bragging rights games. Number 10, Ephraim Winters, a star at Chicago's King High School. This 3-time All-Big Ten selection is Illinois' all-time leader in career rebounds. Winters won all 3 bragging rights games he played in from 1983 to 85, with his best coming his freshman season when he led all scorers with 20 points.
Oh, Ephraim was about 6'8" and 240, very strong, outstanding rebounder, could shoot the outside shot, and he could score inside, so he really made it tough for most teams to defend.
Number 9, Ken Norman, a product of Chicago's Crane High. Norman is a member of Illinois' All-Century basketball team. Norman was 2-time first-team All-Big Ten and second-team All-American. He won all 3 of his bragging rights games. He had back-to-back double-doubles in 1985 and 86. Number 8, Andy Kaufman from Jacksonville, Illinois. His 1990 33-point performance is considered the finest ever. It was the most points scored by any player in series history in a single game. In the 1992 game, he was a perfect 10 for 10 from the free throw line with a game-high 19 points.
Andy Kaufman is just a tremendous shooter. He could take the ball to the basket, but a phenomenal shooter.
Number 7, Kejuan Garris from Westinghouse High School in Chicago, Illinois' all-time leading scorer in the bragging rights series with 79 points. Garris ranks 2nd all-time on Illinois' scoring chart with 1,948 points. He's the school's all-time leading free throw shooter and was a 3-time MVP and twice first-team All-Big Ten.
Kejuan Garris is probably, historically, the most underrated basketball player in Illinois history. He set up players, he scored, and he did it for 4 solid years.
And at number 6 on the list is Deon Thomas, a forward center from Chicago, who played for the Illini from 1991 through 1994, where he was the team MVP 3 times. Thomas is the Illini's all-time scoring leader. He's also the school record holder for career field goals and career block shots. He's Illinois' all-time rebound leader in the bragging rights series with 37. In his 4 games against Missouri, he averaged nearly 18 points and 10 rebounds.
Deon Thomas was a back-to-the-basket postman who had just a velvet touch. He had 4 very steady years for Illinois, and Illinois hasn't had many that are comparable to him. I'd say Deon was among the very best.
Now, Derek Chivas from Jamaica, New York, is the Tigers' all-time leading scorer. In the bragging rights series, he led his Tigers in scoring in 3 of the 4 games and was always in double figures.
Oh, Derek could score against anybody. I mean, nobody could stop him, and he knew it. And it was almost like he would just kind of toy with people. He'd just say, throw me the ball. Just throw me the ball and spread, get out of the way, and let him go to work.
Number 4 is Mizzou's 7-footer, Steve Stepanovich, who played from 1980 to 83. He is 2nd in block shots in Tiger history, number 3 in rebounds, and number 4 on the all-time scoring list.
Well, Steve was one of those centers that could fool you because, Steve could step outside and hit a 15-foot shot at any time.
In his Mizzou career, Stepanovic won 1 and lost 2 bragging rights games. Number 3 is Melvin Booker, who ranks number 6 on the Tigers' all-time scoring chart. He's also number 2 in the all-time Tiger assist list with 488. From Moss Point, Mississippi, his bragging rights highlight was that he never lost to Illinois in 4 games, from 1991 to 94. Voted the Tigers' second all-time best player in the bragging rights was Big Doug Smith.
Once you get into that rivalry, that whole bragging rights thing, and you start learning about the rivalry, it makes it even more special. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad to have taken part in it.
Mizzou's second all-time scorer, he holds Tiger career records for most field goals attempted, most field goals made, and most personal fouls at 422.
Well, Illinois had to win the games in spite of Doug Smith. He was probably the best player on the court in many of those games, and they never found an answer for Doug Smith. If you're going to pick an all-star team on the Missouri side, you'd start with Doug Smith.
In his 4 games against Illinois, he led the Tigers 3 years in rebounds. His best game was 1990, when he scored 30 with 15 boards. Both are Tiger highs in the series. It's time now to reveal the fans' choice of Missouri's number 1 player in the first 24 years of the Bragging Rights series here in St. Louis. This player comes from Kansas City, and he wore number 44. Tiger All-American, All-Big 8, Anthony Peeler. Third on the career scoring list at Missouri. He's Mizzou's all-time assist leader and number 1 in steals. He played in 3 bragging rights games between 1988 and 91, including the victory in 91 that ended Illinois' 8-game series winning streak.
To me, Anthony Peeler and Doug Smith were the best 2 players ever played at the University of Missouri. Peeler, left-handed kid out of Kansas City, could shoot it, drive the basket, rebound. He was just an all-around great player.
Here's Anthony Peeler with a great recovery. Oh, yeah, good hand.
Anthony Peeler, Missouri's best of the best in the Busch Bragging Rights series. Flipping sides, let's take a look at number 5 on the Illini best player list is star forward Brian Cook. He was first team All Big Ten and the Big Ten Player of the Year for the 2002-2003 season. He's third on the Illini's career scoring chart and holds the school record for best free throw percentage in a season. A first-round NBA draft pick, he led his team to 3 victories in 4 games against Missouri.
Brian Cook became a key offensive player for Illinois from the very beginning. He was the kind of player that you could go to him under pressure, and he just had a wonderful stroke.
And at number 4, Illini great Kenny Battle of Aurora, Illinois. This first-round NBA draft pick and a member of Illinois basketball's all-century team played in 2 bragging rights games, both Illini wins in 1987 and 88.
Kenny Battle was some kind of a player. He played inside for us, but 6'8" and 6'9" couldn't stop him. And he was such an athlete. He could score. He could also beat you inside. Kenny Battle is one of the finest 6'5" players I've ever coached.
I just about rank him number 1 in this series. Kenny Battle was a special athlete. He is so special that they've named a trophy at the University of Illinois after him, the Battle Award.
Number 3 is guard Frank Williams, 2-time All Big Ten and the Big Ten Player of the Year in 2000-2001. He scored 51 points in his 3 bragging rights games for a 17-point average. His best game, a career-high 22 in the 2001 contest.
Frank was on, he was pretty much unstoppable, and he won a lot of Illinois games in the last minutes because he just had the ability to pull them out.
You voted Kendall Gill as Illinois' second best player in bragging rights history, a member of the Illinois All-Century team and a first-round NBA draft pick. He won all 4 of his bragging rights games from 1987 to 1990. Number 13 from Madison, Illinois, Kendall Gill, one of the Flying Illini.
Kendall Gill was extremely fast. He deflected a lot of passes. He was very quick on the top of the defense, was a very good fast break player. He could dunk with either hand. He was a tremendous force for a team that was more than Missouri can handle in the late 80s and in 1990.
Dee Brown is your choice as the Fighting Illini's number 1 player in the Bragging Rights series. From Maywood, Illinois' Proviso East High School, Daniel Dee Brown. Consensus first-team All-American and All Big Ten. the Big Ten Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year in 2004-2005, and the Sporting News National Player of the Year. In 3 seasons, D had 2 Big Ten titles and the school's only trip to the NCAA championship game.
D is the heart and soul of the Illinois basketball team. There was a moment at the beginning of his sophomore year. D wasn't sure he was the leader. I mean, there were moments of uncertainty, and I think maybe the Missouri game, that's when D started to build the momentum.
Brown, the three, yes! D. Brown nails a three!
So important because, I mean, you just can take the trophy back to your respective practice facility or wherever you want to take it and be able to say that you won this big game and fans get to brag on it. And this is a great game.
D just puts the team on his back and makes some huge plays. He plays with energy. He truly is our poster child of Illinois basketball.
Illinois' #1 bragging rights player of all time, Illini guard D. Brown. We've counted the top 10 players from each team and 9 of the top 10 games in the 25-year bragging rights history.
I don't know if Mark Few is still concerned about overscheduling, but I still think Fran Fraschilla, Gonzaga is underrated. They have to jump up big time in the rankings if they take care of business here tonight.
Well, they have shown Final Four potential over the last 3 weeks, but this is going to be a tough atmosphere. They've done it before. This should be fun.
Kevin Young controls the tip. Mizzou with the basketball. This brand new arena just shy of a sellout. It looked at 2 clubs. Ribio Knight, Malin Morrison, and Turioff, a young Gonzaga team. Horton McKinney in the backcourt along with Conley, Clazer, and Young up front 4. There is Horton, younger brother of Daniel that plays for Michigan. Clazer strong to the basket, puts it up and in. There is Linus Clazer, the 6'8" sophomore from Lithuania, showing his...
He's mobile enough to play outside, but certainly strong enough to be able to attack the basket.
The Missouri's had some very good numbers and tried to attack the basket. Now the Tigers get it back out. Clazer, he's got that mid-range game, knocks it down. He's hit his first 2, and the Tigers with a 4-0 lead.
Dave, remember, this is a guy that missed the second. Gonzaga comes out here tonight as the favorite.
Let's take a look at the meeting last year. The last time these 2 teams played, Ronny Turioff, 21 of his 23 points came in the second half. Ricky Pauling hit that shot to tie the game in regulation, but then Turioff took over in the overtime, and Gonzaga went on to win that game 87-80. That was just the second meeting.
We will not win this game if the game is in the 60s. They've got to score points because he feels they can defend Gonzaga.
And the Tigers looking to run. They've got numbers. Here's Clazer, strong to the basket, draws the contact, they let it go, no foul either way. But Clazer's hit 3 of his first 4. He has 4,
and he finds a lot of different ways to do it.
Plays a nice lob pass inside. Young had position, put it off the glass and in. The 6'9" junior from... The Missouri Tigers are playing their first season in this state-of-the-art $75 million Mizzou arena, but that was not the original name. The prime donors, Nancy and Bill Laurie, initially named the facility the Page Sports Arena for their daughter, Elizabeth Page Laurie. The name Page was removed from the arena after allegations arose that while at Southern California, Elizabeth paid her roommate $20,000 over a 3.5-year period to complete her schoolwork. Laurie eventually...
Oklahoma State. So far, Missouri has played very, very good defense.
Thomas Gardner, number 3, is in the ball game for Mizzou, but that is Jason Horton, who came in.
But they have held their last 8 opponents to 65 points or less, and they've played good defense, but it's been on the offensive end where they've really struggled. So far, they are off to a good start.
Turioff really showing.
That was a regional final type of atmosphere, and Gonzaga expended an awful lot of energy. So now they have not consistently made those outside shots.
Strong move to the basket, and after missing their 4 previous or shooting team, there's Conley. That's a wide open look, no good. Strong to the basket is Grimes. Cameron Grimes in the ball game makes it.
They'll play man-to-man with the player in their area.
Oh, great execution there, and Conley, who has struggled from the outside, able to get the easy lob.
Game, but it came at a fortuitous time for Missouri.
And look at Morrison, able to come down and very...
In Oklahoma City, it was a partisan crowd, and they kept their composure.
Grimes off the glass and in, and Cameron Grimes 6'8".
Morrison lost the ball down here. You can see Gonzaga looks to be a step slow.
And Morrison, who's sporting a
great shot, not settle for the good shot.
Gardner baseline, good! He thought about the long outside, and the best remedy for that, well, how about getting a chance like this? The Tigers will have Mizzou Arena, the training facilities, the practice court, and of course Missouri slapped with the NCAA sanctions because of recruiting improprieties. You know, this is going to help.
But they have a young team, so it's not as big a factor, and certainly this is state of the art. You know, the Hearn Center was a great old building, kind of as comfortable as a slipper, but this certainly will you know, be one of the jewels, I think, around the country in terms of basketball arenas.
As you look at the assistant coaches, Melvin Watkins, former head coach at Texas A&M, Jeff Meyer at Liberty, Jay Spoonhour from UNLV, of course, Tony Harvey and Lane Odom, the former.
You see now Gonzaga's gone man-to-man.
McKinney pulls up, and again, there it is, a contested shot, but still under control.
Start the game, and if he gets in foul trouble, it's okay. He sacrifices himself, and Batista comes in.
Batista with 8 points, and Conley answers with a three.
Needed.
Just the second three that Missouri has hit, and on the inside, there is Dandridge, who just came into the ball game, making his presence felt. The 6'6" freshman from Virginia gets a huge block.
Ben, watch all the bodies inside, and Dandridge with terrific timing. Young man who's only a freshman, and great effort and hustle right there by Missouri.
Their only loss to #1 Illinois. They've won 7 straight since then. And the baseline shot by Jason Conley, who looked like earlier
Dandridge can shoot it.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
He's the one guy on the perimeter that I watched in practice.
Conley starting to feel it. Dandridge, good ball fake, steps inside there. Look at the rotation on the ball. This kid can shoot it.
What a smart play.
He team has struggled from long range all season. Perhaps the freshman Glenn Dandridge is
mental basketball. Watch Dandridge. Great look, great follow through. But once he makes the three, the next time he catches the ball, a terrific shot fake. He raises the ball, his head, he stays down, quick one dribble jump shot, gets Knight off his feet and bangs the two-pointer. That's terrific basketball right there, and the recognition that he's going to be closed out defensively and uses that head fake to get open.
And came back and won that game. So one of the things I know that they talked about during this break was just having a better effort in the first half, and here they are with the lead. Quinn Snyder's club now has hit 3 of their 7 free throw attempts. Looking for the high screen from Dandridge. Now he waves them off. Horton to the free throw line. Little fadeaway. Floater is good. Jason Horton. And he has a little something to say to Derek Livio, who says something back at him.
Great execution by Missouri to get the shot as the clock went down. Horton knew he had a strength advantage in the lane on Livio. Watch as he takes his time, backs himself in, and then calmly shoots over the 153-pound sophomore.
We're at halftime, and Gonzaga down. Up shot just inside the arc. Here's McKinney attacking the basket. Nice touch under move. Off the glass and in.
Well, Gonzaga looks a step. I like the fact that Quinn Snyder had.
Well, McKinney, who had an outstanding field goal. The last Horton with a spin. Glazer shoots the three, knocks it down. Linus Glazer showing the range as well.
And of the starting lineup, he's the one guy that can really stroke it.
Glazer steps into the three. That was just a bit strong. Conley with the rebound, lays it in. Jason Conley followed the ball.
To get the basketball, they demanded, keep your eye on Linus Glazer. He works inside, doesn't get it against the zone. He works outside, doesn't get it. Back inside. Finally, off the penetration by Jason Horton. The kick out. Conley knocks down the three. Scorers have to be selfish, Dave. Glazer right here.
Of 9 shooting. Horton attacks with a floater that is tipped up and in. Well, even though it was a tough shot. 4 on the shot clock. Conley into the lane. Floats it up short. Gets his own rebound after it was tipped. And knocks it in.
It's been the second effort of hustle plays, and you don't have to score pretty, but you can work the energy play, and Conley that time in the right place at the
ball game. For Missouri, along with Grimes, here's Gardner in rhythm for the three and knocks it down.
Well, they did a good job of
an entry pass to Turioff, who just doesn't have his normal sure hands when he turns to go to the basket. Another three on the way. That one is good. And the young man who you talked about earlier, Fran, as being crucial to Missouri's chances once the Big 12 schedule gets underway, Thomas Gardner with two huge three-pointers.
They've got a scorer in Clazer, no doubt about it. But Thomas Gardner must step up for Missouri. He has shown Missouri as Gardner knocks down the three over Turiev, and an 8-point lead for the Tigers.
As the score, maybe he needs to take over, as Clazer is doing right here, attacking the rim.
Well, Clazer's tough, Dave, because he can beat you both inside and out. And once he puts that shoulder down, he's really tough to guard. This is a guy.
Nice play, Clazer to Horton underneath. Young lays it in.
Well, they're in the open court. That Drew Rivio allowed Jason Horton to get into the interior of the defense. And Kevin Young, not a prolific scorer,
could become a factor. Tough shot from Morrison. He knocks it down.
I talked about great scorers
so far as we take a look at Quinn Snyder's record by season here at Missouri.
Well, you know, I've got a chance to watch them practice, and he gets a bad rap right now because of all the NCAA stuff that they've gone through. And I don't know Quinn Snyder that well, but every time
had a strong, long rebound, and it just goes straight out of bounds. There was a lot of contact between the two players battling for it.
That should be a foul on Earl Knight, and again, great effort by Missouri.
Missouri now is hit 6 of 11. Batista wants it. He gets it against Brown. Trying to get some separation. Spins to the baseline. Nice duck under move and lays it up and in.
That all.
Well, he got some air underneath that one. Got some good arc. Knocks it down to it. Crowd wanted to travel. Nothing coming. Knight elevates off the back iron. Rebound. Batista had it knocked away. McKinney called a timeout.
That's the timeout they needed before, and great heads-up play by Jimmy McKinney.
He has it.
See, I believe, Dave, that they shouldn't change the rule. Now, let's see.
What? See, now he's fumbling. I don't think he ever had the ball.
Right, he didn't have it.
And one of the coaches for Gonzaga is talking about Gonzaga. Dave Strader, Fran Fraschilla, with Scott, Andy, and Doug back in the studio, and Missouri no field goals in the last 7 or 8 sessions. Morrison knew he could throw it in the backcourt to Rivio.
Man-to-man.
Turioff wants the ball. He gets it. Goes to the baseline. Tough shot is blocked, but a whistle.
Well,
and a foul.
The reason it's called a foul is because Kevin Young didn't put his hand straight up. Coming down on the shooter's hand, it forces the official to call a foul. Keep your eye on that. Even the ball was clean.
Wow.
But Dave, if he would just put his hand straight up, Turioff would have had a very difficult time of making the...
Now, do you have him intentionally miss this one, Fran?
No, there's enough time, I believe.
You got Grimes and Brown are the two inside rebounders from Missouri. Neither one of them are good free throw shooters if they get the rebound. Grimes gets it, and he is fouled right away. Oh.
Well, he's a 57% foul shooter on the season, and he's a freshman.
With no timeout, so that's exactly what they have to do. The second one, no good. Long rebound, Morrison has it. Up the sideline, beats it to Turioff. Turioff with 4 seconds, backed it off the bar too hard. Morrison, 2, 3, oh! Just short! It would have counted.
And it's a great win for Missouri.
They could not make their free throws down the stretch, the Missouri Tigers, but they hang on and get the huge win, 63-61. Remember, Missouri had a 61-51 lead at one point in the ballgame, their largest lead. And another look at the last play. And the rebound went to the corner, but Morrison alertly got it to Turioff. Turioff forced the shot, but watch Morrison. There's time on the clock as he takes the turnaround. That is dead on. It was just short. by about the width of the basketball. And Quinn Snyder knows that is a huge win for his team and for his program. And he told me this afternoon, he said, Mark, you and I are great friends, but I would love to beat him.
Just being more aggressive. Jason using his body, pumping Ravio off, and there was a little talk going on out there at this point too. Some competitive guys.
It happens from time to time. The Quins Tigers up by 3 at halftime. Second half, Kleza out front, got that down.
You saw Linus said Jason earlier, and there's Jason finding Linus in the lane, keeping his feet, not giving up, leaving his feet to make a pass. Conley, our leading rebounder, for the past few games.
Wow.
Doing it like that, going after the ball.
16 points and a career-high 13 rebounds for Jason Conley, and there he is, Jason on the spot, his first career double-double.
That was terrific, and you like to see Jason get rewarded for playing as hard as he is. Eventually, you keep grinding and you'll make some shots, and Thomas knocked the big one down there. The thing about that was keep us is it was late in the shot clock. And the next possession, he's feeling a little bit. That's where, as a coach, you kind of go, no, 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 and it goes in, and you say, okay, yes.
And the fans jumping for joy, and look at the move inside. Horton to, I believe that's Kevin Young in there. Yep.
Kevin hit about every part of the rim on that one.
He tends to do that sometimes, but such a good rebounder. How about J.P. Bautista, a reserve for them at 6'10", scored 20.
He's a terrific player. And, we made it hard on ourselves with free throws. The key thing on this play, Jimmy doesn't foul, and then Thomas chases the ball down and gets a hand up on Morrison, because he's the kind of player that makes a shot like that. Our guys were right to celebrate. They played a heck of a game.
Well, a lot of jubilation at Mizzou Arena after that game. And, we talk about Gonzaga's strength and Jason Conley's performance with 16 and 13. But, Quinn, all 4 of your freshmen, Glenn Dandridge, Marshall Brown, Jason O'Kane, and Grimes, played huge roles in the biggest win of the season.
Well, they've been doing that.
Highlights, it may be no surprise that this week's Player of the Week for Missouri is Jason Conley. The Tigers senior had 16 points and a career-high 13 rebounds in the win over Gonzaga, then scored 12 points and pulled down 10 rebounds against American for back-to-back double-doubles. Jason Conley, our Player of the Week, and Player of the Week is brought to you by Missouri Employers Mutual Insurance, Missouri's #1 provider of workers' compensation. It's underway.
Times this year, I think, but something to improve on. And one of those games you want to get behind you, really get a W, and learn from it what you can and move forward.
Well, let's show you the Tigers and American University, the Eagles visiting from our nation's capital in the Patriot League, and Jason Conley had another big game. And, Thomas Gardner, a guy we haven't talked much about, but he seems to bring energy in that 6th-man role that he's settled into, I think, now, at least these last 4 games, and we're just looking for that shot to be consistent. Huh?
Yeah, and really don't want him to worry that much about his shot. Want him to try to impact the game different ways. And Marshall continues to make jump shots. We did hit some shots in this game. This was a tough break here. We just lost the ball. We had a few. We gave up too many easy baskets, Chris. Jason Horton been working on his jump shot, shooting more of them at game speed in practice, and gets rewarded here with a couple open looks and really steps up and makes them.
Back-to-back 3-pointers. He scored a career-high 10 points in the first half alone, and Mizzou with a 16-2 run here late in the first half to break open a close game to a 12-point lead.
Well, big stretch end of half. We went 2 for 1, Chris. With about 50 seconds left, we're going to try to get 2 shots to your 1. The shot clock and really execute.
Yeah, it worked beautifully. You had 2 possessions and 2 big baskets. And Jason Conley, again, the energy that he's displayed the last few games.
It was real good again on the boards, and Linus did a nice job running that down. And I'd like for him not to turn this over, but if you do, you know what? Get it back. And another big-time play right there. And he knew it. Like Thomas patting him on the butt and playing with some energy right there. Big thing to see your guys make a mistake and not have...
Public enemy #1, Linus Kleza.
Linus Kleza.
Marshall, that's a surprise, tied at the half. 30-20 Wake over Maryland in the ACC, and Alabama is trailing Arkansas by 1. And the front end of the 1-and-1 is good. He'll get the bonus.
Even assists with 2.5.
Nails both free throws, and he is in double figures with 11, and it's a 5-point ball game nearing the 4-minute mark. The part of Cowboy Tiger lore. A lot of Tiger fans will cringe when we show you this. A shot from half court.
Look at the follow through.
At the buzzer. Unbelievable play by Brian Reeves. Only three-pointer I think he hit in his rest of the game without fouling out. He scored 12 more points along the way. So Linus Glazer with a chance. So the Tigers 8 of 10 from the line so far tonight. Make it 9 of 11. Meanwhile, the Cowboys are 6 of.
His big Lithuanian 6'8" sophomore was able to antagonize the crowd, and listen how quiet it's become all of a sudden.
Get to Conley and what Jason has done. Out on the wing, had all day to set up for that three. That got him on the board, and then it was like things came easier after that.
Well, as long as Missouri moves the ball, they'll get gooder guy that can really heat up for Missouri.
Langford all the way and has the ball blocked by Grimes. 1 second left, and he almost got it. Good heavens. What an end to this first half. So KU led by as many as 10, and Missouri finishes it with a 20-4
start. How were you able to overtake the lead?
Well, we've done a good job defensively, and our guys are a little wound up. We were taking some bad shots, but we started to settle down offensively. We've been able to drive the ball a little bit.
Offense has struggled at times this season. Why has it been effective?
Well, that's an understatement. I think we're playing more together. You know, we're getting shots for each other. There's still a few times guys try to go off on their own, but for the most part, they're taking care of the ball and playing together.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second. Ron.
Okay, Stacy, thanks very much. We're at halftime with the score. Missouri 36, Kansas 28. Now let's send it to Reese Davis with the UPN.
Missouri surprisingly with a lead at the Fog. Second half's coming.
Is brought to you by GMC Trucks and SUVs. We are professional grade.
I don't know why anybody should be surprised, but I was about to say, hey, we got a ball.
They've gotten great shots at the basket. Linus Glazer has done a nice job of playing inside out with Jason Conley. And of course, anytime you knock down shots, Ron, your offense is going to look proficient. Missouri 51% in the first half. Wayne Simeon, of course, the heart and soul of this Kansas team, has scored well inside, but Kansas uncharacteristically has not taken care of the basketball.
Well, here's a look at our Mazda first half stats.
Well,
Glazer against Moody. Spin move into him, and Moody, I think, will pick up the foul, and he scored.
Well, we've said it all night. Linus Glazer is a tough matchup for anybody that Kansas can throw out there, because he's got the agility to dribble the ball from the perimeter to the paint, and he also has the strength to withstand contact. And there's a perfect example right there.
So Glazer with a three-point play, and it's here comes Conley.
And Ron, the problem right now for Kansas as they try to get to a high-low game is they will not play Christian. Their defense has been solid all night. It's really been solid for most of this year. Jason Conley gets out in the lane, steals, easy basket.
Glazer on the bench with 3 fouls. Conley, strong drive to the hoop, and got it on the finger roll. Big 12 teams, Kansas second at 18. What an inbounds play on that one. And what an inbounds play on that one. And Marshall Brown was in the...
This back screen, he spins off. Simeon gets lost in traffic. Marshall Brown with that excellent athletic ability for a freshman.
To Missouri, a one-point game. We're about 3 minutes in at brand new Mizzou Arena.
That's what makes Drew Lattimore so good, his ability to change speeds. He's really fast. The little icks and cracks of defenses increase a lot of happy.
Conley into Young for the one-handed stuff, and right now Jason Conley connecting with Young underneath, playing a pretty...
About and play hard.
Sounds like you liked it.
I loved it.
Young at the line, connects. You'll see the sunshine when it is Conley really pushing the tempo here. Glazer backs his way in. A smooth shot for 2.
And that's exactly what he's good at. He's good at taking a big guy on the perimeter, facing you up.
Missouri Tigers, they badly need a win like this for the program, and they're out in front by Oklahoma 4 out of 7, but it's Missouri's start that caught everybody's eye.
Well, you see, they've really been doing a great job of attacking the basket. As you see right here, Glazer facing up, taking you outside, and they've really been doing a great job of going down low and really trying to go at the zone. That's definitely one of the best in the league.
In particular at that age. Miami, by the way, plays it to shoot. Averaging 16 points and about 7 rebounds a game. Glazer dreams one day of playing for an Olympic gold medal.
Talking to Quinn Snyder, he says that's what they kind of need. You talk about a lot of these kids, you have a young class, and a lot of these kids come out from being great players out of the class and want to be the guy right away. And he says something really important for his
Glazer.
Well, you see right here, he takes a shot, gets the rebound, Glazer gets the ball right here, and does a great job of finishing. You got to get him touches down low. You got to work your adjustment right there. You try to put Glenn Dandridge on the court, who is a really smooth and streaky shot.
Sooners as Lawrence McKenzie reached in there for the theft. Now it's Lavender. Got it. That's a three-pointer by the little guy. The 5-7 with it. Now to Conley. Zip pass inside, and it was right off the hands of a little offense by accident.
Well, Grimes is
at the offense by accident as it rolled right to Glazer.
That's a great. Really look for him to get going. They really need him to get going in order to win this game.
Gray, a smart move to get out of the double team of the pass. Everett's floater is good. Terrell Everett, 6'2".
It's kind of a knuckle ball. They get to get over a big guy, and he definitely got over and dropped it down.
Gordon got it inside of Grimes. A nice power move up against the glass.
Well, that's what you need, especially for Missouri. You need to get easy.
Gordon swings to Gardner. Trying to find Glazer. He jumps inside. Got it.
Yeah, it's great body control right there. As you saw a couple Oklahoma.
How about that errant toss? It was right off Glazer. He wasn't even watching. Banged off his shoulder, and Horton drills him.
Went off Glazer's shoulder.
One of the better defensive clubs in the conference. Hard to score off of in any arena. Gardner gets the three. That's the first three-pointer all day from Missouri. Up top, it's Everett. Starts his drive with 4 seconds. A wild shot, followed by Godbold, and he got it to go. And that's it at halftime. That's a bit of a backbreaker for Missouri. They pulled the inside 10. Taj Gray had come 37-26. Our halftime score. Oklahoma in the lead. Right now, we join John and Rick in the studio. Flashed inside. He wanted the basketball. There's Conley. Did not shoot the three. Instead, under to Young, and that's the second time those two have worked that two-man game for an easy basket.
A little bit more penetrative kick. See right here, does a great job penetrating, bringing Book out to him, and leaves Grimes open for an easy layup.
At Mizzou Arena. Gardner bottled up, got it free to Conley. Trying to swing it inside for Young. Boy, those choices, Jay Grimes really working a nice two-man game here, and this is the closest Mizzou has.
Again, right here, the great kick out, Conley with a great pass. And just his strength, the Grimes, to grab that ball away from Bookout and Gray, let alone to allow it to be done, you got to take advantage of it.
There's Gardner ahead of the floor for the jam on the tomahawk. And this momentum swing here.
It definitely has been. And see, the great pass right here by Conley, he's really stepped up. And Gardner with the flush.
Jason Conley.
A little flush for you, baby.
Exceptionally well, and Young too. Gray fights for it, stole it, gave it right to Glazer, and he laid it in.
Well, he got a lucky playoff right there. He saved it and saved it right to Glazer. Glazer did a great job of finishing.
36 to go. A little lucky Glazer, but he'll take the deuce, and it's 40.
Of his coach, Quinn Snyder. These are the kind of plays Quinn Snyder made when he was a player at Duke University, playing passing lanes, diving over people. And you see right here, he makes a great hustle play and great awareness for him to know where Gardner was, and then Gardner finishes strong.
He has 6 assists, 5.6 to the team. Combined only has 8 rebounds. Gardner has it. On a run out there's Horton. He'll lay it in.
There's something about Jason Conley. It's not always about scoring. You don't need to score points in order to contribute big to your team. He's been doing a lot of the little things, the idiosyncrasies around the game that makes him a great player tonight.
A 5-point lead for Oklahoma. That's all. And having trouble even handling the basketball. There's McKinney.
Well, it's all from the pressure that they're putting on the guards. Like I said, they've really been forcing Oklahoma to start their offense around half court instead of being in close around the three-point line where Oklahoma wants to start.
Quinn Snyder fired up. The crowd fired up. His Tigers are firing. Trouble just making one simple pass and catch.
Well, that's what they've been doing right now. You see just the great defensive awareness on McKinney, and he finishes very strong. But they've been putting a lot of pressure on him throughout the entire game, and it's really been no more the second half. They've been doing a great job getting their hands on loose balls and creating a lot of havoc and creating turnovers.
ABC Sports Today from Columbia, Missouri, and brand new.
Drive hard to get a hand on that, and then they get a block. Young did a great job.
Horton to Claza, baseline reverse for two.
And that's all done by the penetration. Like I said, Oklahoma loves to play a zone. But
how about this run over the last 8 minutes? 16 to
1 or more. You guys have a chance to create a lot of open shots and a lot of drives. Who wants some more?
Gardner's banker is good, and Missouri has the lead.
And they are taking a lead for the first time today. First time. Oklahoma.
Gardner's starting to get loose from long range as well, and Missouri is a team on fire at home.
Well, these last 4 or 5 possessions have really got Mizzou back into the game. You see Horton right there with a great pass up and a great finish. Then you see McKinney with the great hands, great steal, and then another great finish by him, really getting the crowd pumped into it. Then a great penetration by Horton, what I was talking about before. The penetration makes the game. And then you see Gardner with a great finish right here in order to get the lead.
That's one thing you're always going to get about Kelvin Sampson. That's going to be a foul, and that will go against Missouri.
We're down by 2.
This is an 11-0 run for Oklahoma that Gardner's trying to end and can't. Rebound is tipped up and in by Conley, though.
The energy man comes back to try to rejuvenate his team.
McKinney with another fit. Stumbled a bit. There's Conley with a shot. Got it. 3-pointer.
Well, he can't score. And what you saw right there, that's great recognition on Mizzou's part.
The swing to Conley. He'll try it again. Claza with the board. Returns it.
Where they are, they're right back in the striking distance down.
Oklahoma's lead has been cut to 6. Just 2:50 left, though, for Missouri in a tale of 2 halves here, Jason.
Well, it has been a tale of 2 halves. You saw in the first half, Gray did a great job of dominating the paint down low. Really getting in, really finishing strong, and really taking advantage of this ability of Clay down low. But in the second half, it's really been the team's been taking on the persona of their coach, Quinn Snyder. They've really been pushing the ball, really creating a lot of havoc, turnover, and really been finishing. Did a great job of getting back into this ball. Try to go down low right here. So Clay can finish. Great block.
Plays a block by Gilbert there. The return is up and good. However, by Grimes the front.
Passion that I love Grimes has. And watching it from the
long one. Barely nicked the rim. Everett tried to save it off of Missouri. It's Gardner out in front. He goes and lays it in.
They're talking about they're only down 3 right now. Quinn Snyder signaling up for him to get up and press. Really keep the pressure up. Really trying to...
Way away from the basket. He's not real comfortable out there. Almost turned over, and it is turned over.
And that's been a great defensive pressure by Mizzou. Really back in there in Lavender and let him control the tempo of the game.
Well, horrible shot there that barely glanced the iron. And allowed Gardner on the run to lay it up and in remaining.
Same play they ran before, try to get close to the ball down low.
Shot clock at 17. Gardner will shoot a 3.
But those are one of those shots, Dave, that you look at it, you're like, don't take it, don't take it. Great shot, great shot. I'm sure Quinn Snyder's happy right now. Tie basketball game. Now you need to get defensive stop.
59-59. Timeout Oklahoma. 48 seconds to play. And we're locked up at 59.
If you don't, you know you're going to get ripped by the coach like before.
Another look.
It's a great form, great shot, and great sign of confidence. Hasn't been knocking down the shot the entire night, but for the confidence for him to take that shot right there at this crucial point in the game shows you the character of Thomas Gardner.
Kelvin Sampson can't believe the game is tied. He thought he had put this one in his back pocket 3 or 4 times.
Not confident, but right now they're playing with the kind of confidence and the swagger.
Everett fires up a wild shot, and Missouri has it with less.
Well, you see right here, they made a bunch of unbelievable plays throughout the entire game. A lot of hustle plays that have gotten them back in this game. You know, they've really been hustling, been working hard. You see the great bounce pass and Horton to finish. Great another hands-on steal by McKinney. Those are the plays that have been getting them back in the game. It's their defensive tenacity that's doing it. And then the big 3 by Gardner, which ties the game right now. Puts them in position.
8 left. Missouri trying to inbound and does to Claza. Conley. Airborne, got it up, off the rim, tipped up, no good. 2 seconds left, plays his fall away. He can't get it, and we're going to overtime.
Well, look like there was some basket interference, but it wasn't called. That's how the game goes. Great defensive stop by Oklahoma to send it to overtime. We're back to where we were last year all over again.
Overtime for the 2nd year in a row between Oklahoma and Missouri. And a look at that.
Great drive. I would have tried to go a little bit more closer to the basket. Gets his shot up, gets a tip, misses the tip, and he has another shot at it right here and just barely off. Just enough to send it to overtime.
Would have counted. They had 3 cracks at it to win it. Now offset the upset effort by Missouri. Kind of chilled out, but defensively they put great pressure on Gray, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. It doesn't mean scoring. It means taking over the team, getting them in their sets, you know, dropping dives.
One pass too many. Gray jumped out for the steal. Taj Gray with the stuff.
But that was great recognition on Gray's part. That's what happens. That's what happens.
Denying inside passes, denying anything in the interior. And a shot clock is at 6 now. The catch and shoot by Gardner. He got it. Another big triple for him.
Like I said, you allow a team to play with confidence. Look at them. They're really pumped up right now. They'll eventually end up, they can stab you in the back.
Lavender lost it, but it came right back, and he nailed it. Jason Williams with a three-pointer.
That's a great heads-up play. I cannot express to you how great of a heads-up play that going. Great hands from to kick it out to Jason Williams who knocked it down for the big three.
Gardner wants another one. Got it!
In fuego, Dave. And he just looked at me. I like it. I like the confidence he's playing with right now. You know, get a big three out of your guy right here, Gardner in the corner. But then OU answers right back at him with the huge three, with the great tap out by Drew Lowry and Jason Williams who knocks it down. But then just the consistency of Gardner to come back, and his heart just wants to win this game really bad. He's playing with a lot of confidence.
He won't shoot it. Shot clock at 7. Lavender will fire it. Around and out.
But that wasn't the kind of shot I know Calvin said.
Starts a hard move. Horton in the paint. Gave it up. Great feed to Young. He laid it in. And a foul on the play.
Well, like I said, Quinn Snyder just winked at Jason Horton. The penetration of Horton he's been doing is a great job of finishing down low. Getting a little crack right there and finds Young. Young does a great job with the head fake. Goes up and finishes strong.
Everett straight away. Pulls up his dribble. Lavender has a shot clock at 1. He has to heave it. And the shot clock expired. They did not get it off in time. They turn it over to Missouri.
And that was a great defensive heads up. And I wonder, what are you thinking as a player? You got to go down and really try to penetrate and get an easy bucket.
McKinney drains it.
And holding each other, hoping he makes it so they can win this game.
Short. Rebound tip. Plays it with it. A huge rebound. Missouri trying to play keep away. Tipped out of bounds off Oklahoma. Not that time. Plays it with another big rebound. He's come up with a couple giant boards here in overtime. Plays it with it to the basket. He's fouled by Bookout. 16 seconds to play.
And about Quinn Snyder, I'm taking the foul right before he misses a shot. Kyle does a great job of banging down low, and the ball just kind of comes to him, and he gets a great job of getting the ball and grabbing it. Great rebound. That's the winning foul.
Everett with it beyond the arc. 8 seconds left. McKenzie has it. He goes to the corner. 4 seconds left. He fires. It's short. Young with the rebound, and that's it. That's it. Missouri has won it.
And that just shows you the hustle Missouri the entire game. They've been playing defensively great the entire game.
Missouri in overtime knocks off Oklahoma. Now stay tuned. College basketball continues. Some may see Cincinnati, DePaul. Others will see Colorado and Kansas. For Jason Williams, I'm Dave O'Brien. So long.
Have it. Missouri wins 68-65, pulling off the upset over 18th ranked Oklahoma. For the Tigers, that snaps a 5-game losing streak. Quinn Snyder 3-8 career versus Oklahoma.
Capacity filled Mizzou Arena here in Columbia, Missouri for number 7 Kansas against the Tigers. The Kansas Jayhawks have started 3 of 3 from the field. Langford. Jayhawks coming off a couple of big wins. Kansas State Wednesday, Oklahoma State a week ago. McKinney for 3, and that is Missouri's first basket today.
And this is a capacity.
Kleza with the rebound. McKinney found traffic, and Kleza for 3.
Kleza is a guy, Kevin, who can shoot that 3.
And both Simeon on McKinney, Kleza, and Jason Conley carving his way for 2.
Conley trying to be very aggressive. You got to give some credit to
this afternoon on CBS.
Characterizes this Kansas team.
And now State Farm covers the court with today's lineups. We got Simeon, Moody, Lee, Giddens in for the injured Langford. Story on that in just a second with Miles. Missouri with Brown, Grimes, Gardner, Conley, and Jimmy from the field.
And with Horton not in the lineup, this is a tough matchup for Missouri because they're really lacking their best ball handler. Conley wiggles in the lane there.
To Ohio State as McKinney comes inside. And way outside, Brown for three for Missouri.
Brown the best percentage.
As we're tied at 13, Conley inside, and they get it with Gardner.
Missouri was very concerned about the Kansas ability to get up and down the court, but what a nice job by Conley to get the ball up on the board, and then
Sasha Khan picked up his first foul seconds ago. Here's McKinney.
And again, Kevin, we here.
Lee remains, Giddens, and they brought in freshman Darnell Jackson from Oklahoma City. Now Missouri Tigers. Missouri was a 12-2 run, coming back from 8 down. A long-range three-point hit, and that's down by Jason Conley.
If they can get them to combine for double figures in points and rebounds, then they're in pretty good shape.
Now Missouri has their biggest lead. Kansas is led by as many as 8. Missouri has 7 points by Conley, leading all scorers for Missouri. Jimmy McKinney.
That's nearly an impossible shot. Pretty good defense by Hawkins right.
Well, of course, we told you before, with the star freshman from Dallas, point guard Jason Horton out, puts a little bit of a crunch on the Missouri Tigers. Out for just this game, suspended for conduct detrimental to the team in this game. Kansas has gone 3 of 11 since starting 4 of 5, and Wayne Simeon has been scoreless the last 12 minutes.
Kansas used his zone effectively to rally against Missouri in their first game.
Gardner, that's a 3. And the Missouri Tigers have built their biggest
that defense, and they need to stretch the defense. It has been surrounding Simeon inside.
Gardner right across the lane and finding
out to that 8-0 run. They may have thought this was going to be pretty easy. It's been anything but.
McKinney for 3. What a shot by Jimmy McKinney.
Kevin, it's amazing.
2 of 2 above the three-point arc and a game-high 10.
You mentioned Young going out of the game, Kevin, and Young.
There's a 71% free throw shooter and knocks it down. Here's Gardner at the free throw line. He knocks it down. Foul problem. Missouri side, just 2 on Conley, and that's about it. Biggest lead for the Missouri Tigers.
Slow down just a little bit.
Gardner again. Wow. Thomas Gardner, a sophomore from Portland, Oregon, who played at the same high school on 4 of 11 shooting three-point shots today. Gardner again, feeding to McKinney for 3.
This is an amazing shooting display. Field goals, and this is the result of excellent ball movement. The ball goes inside to Claza. He kicks it back out, and then a terrific pass by Gardner over to McKinney. Wide open. Try to guard him, and Claza showed you his skill with the ball. Puts it down, draws the foul.
And Claza. Missouri last beat Kansas in March. Gardner. Yeah. The Missouri Tigers got 24 points on three-point shots, led by the sharp-shooting junior from St. Louis, Jimmy McKinney, who has a game-high 13. We've already seen one highly ranked team fall today. Will Missouri make it 2? At halftime in Columbia, 43-34, the unranked Tigers over number 7 Kansas.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half, sponsored by Singular, raising the bar.
The highlights, the players, the coach, the show. Mondays at 6:30.
Out there with Miles in the Kansas backcourt. They got Simeon and Lee, and there's a drive by Gardner, and he puts it up and in. Christian Moody is the 3 tournament, and not here in Columbia since 2001. It's McKinney. Nice stop on a dime.
McKinney and Gardner both today have done a nice job. Jimmy McKinney has done a nice job shooting the ball from three-point range, but there, the drive to the basket, the great jump stop. You notice the defense.
McKinney, Gardner, Conley. Oh, what a play by Jason Conley. The Missouri Tigers have their biggest lead of the afternoon over 7th-ranked Kansas. Former Portland, Oregon High School Player of the Year. Here comes
Simeon inside, and no one else has really stepped up to take any of that burden.
Points for Mizzou. Claza has 9 rebounds in this game. And now he's got 8 points, and that's how the big...
He's a guy, if he's going out there diving on the floor, making plays like that, then the Tigers are generally having pretty good success. Stretch, I think, for Missouri.
And Gardner.
Well, how many plays has he made today? In the second half, once...
Number 1, Illinois has fallen. Number 7, Kansas, trying to stay above water. The 5 for Missouri.
That's tremendous defense by Missouri.
Claza, McKinney. Great find in Gardner.
That Missouri has disrupted a Kansas inbounds play. You get the steal right there, the knockaway. Claza picks it up, and then down on the other end, Gardner taking the ball hard to the basket, something Gardner had
in late January. McKinney.
One of the ways that Kansas was able to come back. And
McKinney has just tied his season high with 16 points. He's got 17.
Gardner defense just gets tighter and tighter around Simeon on the inside.
And here is McKinney. In the country, the basketball program. And he was there. The great offensive rebound keeps it alive. Miles thought about 3. Now pops the 3 and nails it. What a shot for Aaron Miles. Missouri has led most of this game. Claza has got his 9th double of the season.
Penetrate to the basket.
Big free throws. Under 5 to play. The lead is back to
42 seconds, so their ability to convert may end up being the difference in this game. Their game plan throughout.
Go inside to Galindo. Outside for the tie. Giddens scored! What a shot! And the Jayhawks have come back.
Well, it's some comeback by Kansas. It was just an amazing job. It wasn't all of Kansas has stayed in the zone, and it has been effective.
McKinney.
Boy, that's a tough shot. That's what Missouri has not been able to do. Get the
game high, 21 points. 6 of 7 from the field. A big shot here to give Mizzou a 2-point lead on Miles. Miles in for the tie. Claza comes up with the loose ball.
That's great defense. Miles, ball dropped out of bounds. He shot it off the underside of the backboard. Just no place for Miles to go here. This is great defense. Simeon doesn't get loose on the inside. You've got to credit McKinney for cutting him off. Dangerous pass.
McKinney. What a pass! From Jimmy McKinney. Nice pass, Miles to Galindo.
And Galindo's done a nice job cutting down the lane, and that's where he's...
So Simeon, as you saw, has picked up his 4th personal foul. Claza with his 15th free throw attempt today. He is 10 of 15. And he's got a double-double for Quinn Snyder.
But this is a really big one right here.
Miles. Lost it. bit of a and outstanding play. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university.
Potentially going down, so two teams that a lot of folks are talking about as #1 seeds in the upcoming NCAA tournament struggling here in the last weekend of the regular season.
Dan, it was the three-point shooting a second half. It's been their free throw.
You know, Kleza is a guy. We talked about Horton being benched for today's game to see if he can get himself readjusted to the team concept. Kleza wins the game with that free throw. But Kleza is a guy earlier in the season. Quinn Snyder did the same thing with him. He benched him to try to make sure that everybody was on the same page in terms of playing together as a team. And he has responded with a tremendous effort.
We are close to seeing the third top 10 team fall in this final regular season college basketball weekend. Kentucky has lost, Illinois has lost, and it appears #7 Kansas will lose. And now it's official as they storm the court in Columbia. For Dan Bonner, Kevin Harlan saying so long from Mizzou Arena. The Tigers have pulled the upset, beating Kansas for the first time in 2 years. Led by the 23 of Thomas Gardner. Coming up next, it's Duke at North Carolina. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship.
Carolina. Other NIT action, Linus Kleza and Mizzou.
It's first-round action in the NIT presented by Jordan. And tonight we are in Columbia, Missouri. It's Mizzou Arena. The DePaul Blue Demons 19-10 on the year in town.
And they're playing in here tonight. How ready are they to take on Missouri, Ron? Big question.
So the mental point of view is something that we will find out very quickly. Young will jump it up against number 44, Marlon Brumfield. And the tip goes to the Tigers. Drake Diener and Linus Kleza.
Drake Diener, 75 threes on the season. That's a Blue Demon record. Linus Kleza rests a tournament play.
Ball is tipped. Knocked back to Kleza. He'll score. And Missouri off the snide at the 18-20 lead to Ball.
If you were paying attention a few minutes ago, that's 76 threes on the season.
And at the other end, Thomas Gardner says, what you can do, I can do equally. He said, we don't match real well with it.
Well, you're right, Ron. Athleticism has not been an issue for Missouri this year. Really, it's been the outside shooting and the lack thereof. That's been their major problem.
McKinney for three. Got it. So they say Chewy had a foot on the line. And that's good news if you're... Misses them both. Rebounded by Brown. And Marshall Brown, the turnaround jumper, hits his first shot of the night. Freshman out of Austin, Texas.
We've seen Marshall Brown.
Gardner. Long three. Another thing that I asked Dave Lato today. Conley. Grimes. Tatum Grimes, the big freshman out of St. Louis Hazelwood Central High School. Possessions have been turnovers. Inside to Kleza. And he will score the easy two.
Well, Kleza did a good job. We saw this in the Big 12 tournament.
On to Paul. Gardner. Two-pointer.
Well, Thomas Gardner.
Now, Dave Lato has said, please.
And you get an idea of how hot Linus Kleza was in the tournament we were attending this weekend. Big 12.
Gardner gets the runner to go down. He's now in double figures. Gardner with 11 points. Diener with 13. First one on him. Well, a question for your student athletes really are 9 of 19. Let's see, DePaul has taken 8 more shots than they have. Young with a strong move, and the big fella gets it to go down.
Because these guys want their careers to be extended.
Young missed a dunk, gets the second one.
You know, Ronnie's coming.
Conley gets this steal. And the follow by Horton. And Quinn Snyder is up saying, how could there not be a foul?
Giving them this 6-point lead.
Glazer.
Well, the best way to get someone to stop pressing you is to attack the pressure, get the easy basket at the other end. Good job out of that timeout.
Jamal Nichols prepares to check back into the lineup. Horton way outside for three.
One of the ways Missouri's been effective this year is when Linus Kleza has the ball, he commands a double team. The defense contracts.
Well, it's 19 fouls. Second one on the way, and he gets that one as well. Glazer, spin move inside. Wow.
Well, that's the patented move, his spin move.
Greer at the other end. Nobody back in transition.
Humont Greer has a score
for three. Glazer thought that Nichols fouled him, but there was no call. So it's halftime here in Columbia with a score. DePaul 41 and Mizzou 38. Now let's join Reese Davis in the studio for the ESPN halftime report. Reese. Glazer. Well, for some reason, Greer came to front him and got up. Seals picked up the foul, by the way. Kenny, Newt, Glazer with the foul.
Well, Glazer has the same nose for the ball that Greer does, anticipating exactly where the same high school as Glazer. Both played at Montrose for great coaches, Kevin Sutton and the legendary Stu Beck.
There they are, December the 30th, February 12, and March the 6th over Gonzaga, Oklahoma in overtime, and in KU.
Well, that's a three of a kind that Eddie Town of Tilt would have liked. It gives you an idea, Ron, of how struggled to score this year. They did win 6 of 9 down the stretch, and this is an ideal tournament. The NIT, Jack Powers' NIT has always been ideal for a young.
Glazer left alone for three.
Well, he demanded the ball inside on that possession. Didn't get it.
Inside working against Thompson. Little skip pass, and Horton will knock down the three-pointer.
Well, when he touches the ball, Glazer, we talked about his pass.
7 of 9 on the night for 19 points. Glazer, quick turnaround jumper.
Well, the ideal spot to get the ball. He flashed from behind the zone.
But Horton was right there in his face. Diener, and he gets another one.
Well, Cliff Clinkscales has done an outstanding job of setting up Drake.
We can extend our season.
Ron, you know better than anybody what happens in this tournament. You win a cup. It's a great way to extend your season. Remember, those teams that play in the last week of the NIT are part of only 18.
Giambi's reprieve. Heck, a lot more coming up. 8 of 14, 5 rebounds. He could kick sand all over the place. Look at this drought. Missouri, no field goal. McKinney just inside the free throw line, and he cans it. Back to a 2-point ball game.
Well, the crowd.
Got it. This is the 9th time.
Zone has worked well in this second half. Lob.
Alley-oop. Conley. Tied again.
Well, pet play versus the zone.
Play right here. Gardner with the lob pass. Alley-oop. Conley. Very important.
Yep.
Get to the local kids. Kenny, quick first step. Well, he's open. Got it. Thomas Gardner, the sophomore out of Portland Jefferson High School.
Well, set up
the NIT. Diener. Got it. And that equals his season high at 25 points.
Well, 7-3.
Glazer holds Missouri back to the pitch. A career high for him. High water mark.
down the stretch of the season, starting to take on the Persina and Mejia. Let's see what they do.
Daner off balance, and he knocks it down. That equals a career high for him at 20. Swishes the second one. A little angry with himself because he missed that first one. 1 point, a little crossover dribble, falling away, and it's not there.
Diener.
The tip inside by Diener.
And left-handed, Ron.
Well, the ball was trying to call a timeout. Didn't get it. Missouri will coming down to the wire. 12.5 seconds. Kleza going to put up the three. Nope. Rebounded by Greer. He's fouled. With 7 points. McKinney, they pick him up. Almost lost it. Gardner. Nope. The tip plays outside, and it's going to be DePaul advancing to the second round of the NIT with a 75 to leading the Blue Demons to victory. And now for our entire crew, I'm Ron Franklin. SportsCenter is now coming your way.